Hi folks, and welcome to the Truck King YouTube channel. Today we're going back to school, off-road school. We're here outside of Las Vegas, Nevada at the Ford Bronco Off-Rodeo School. And yeah, this thing is all about bringing out Bronco owners and teaching them what their vehicles can do. So in this video, we're gonna go over all the features on a Bronco, and then we're gonna head off-road and experience this just like an owner would to see if it really is a good school. Let's dive into it right now. We're going to take you guys through what a day at Off-Rodeo School looks like. But before we really get into the off-road stuff, let's just talk about these vehicles and go over some of the features. So this is the Ford Bronco. There are 3 engines available in this vehicle. The one you're looking at right here is the 2.7 liter V6 EcoBoost. The base engine is a 2.3 liter 4-cylinder EcoBoost. So yes, they're all turbocharged. And then the Bronco Raptor gets its own special engine, a 3 liter turbocharged V6 that's putting out a ton of power. So there's also different trim levels you can get on your Bronco, and there are 2 or 3, I guess I should say, that are really off-road focused. There's the Wild Track, the Badlands, and then the Raptor. So when you go Wild Track, this is really actually about high-speed off-roading. If you do want to pick up your speeds a little bit, Wild Track is meant for that. The one feature the Wild Track doesn't get that the Badlands does is that disconnectable front sway bar, because that's much more about slow-speed rock crawling, and that's what the Badlands is all about. And then, of course, you can step up to that epic Bronco Raptor. That thing does it all, and especially high-speed off-roading. It's really designed to fly across the desert. So now let's just talk about more of the features here. The other package we have to mention is the Sasquatch package, because that brings along the best off-road features. So what are they? Well, first of all, front and rear locking differentials here. Of course, a transfer case with 4 low. And then literally one of the biggest features, you see them right over here, a set of 35-inch tires. That's a set of Goodyear Territories, a really solid off-road tire that has found its way across the whole off-road industry. These things have become very common. So nice to get the big tires, better clearance, better angles, and then of course the lockers. And there's a lot of technology here helping you as well. You're getting the GOAT modes, as Ford calls them. That's go over any terrain. Off-road modes, so you have mud and ruts, sand, rock crawl, things like that. And then you also have a really neat feature with the trail turn assist. That will actually lock up one of your rear wheels on the inside of a corner to help you rotate around that corner. You also have 1-pedal drive and trail control. So 1-pedal drive, the actual vehicle is going to modulate the brakes for you. All you got to do is press down on that throttle. It's replicating 2-foot driving. You just don't have to actually 2-foot drive. And then trail control, that's off-road cruise control. So many features on the Bronco that are just baked into this thing are purpose-built for off-roading. And the reason you come to a school is because I just talked to you about all those features. There's so much here to learn. If you have no idea about off-roading or about this vehicle, coming out to a school like this is going to give you a much better appreciation for not only what the vehicle can do, but specifically how each one of those features works. Because if you want to maximize their usage, you need to understand those details. So yeah, that's just sort of the overview on the features. Now let's hit the trail and we'll put them into practice and keep on talking about, you know, what the school is really going to teach owners and what they're going to leave with at the end of the day. All right, folks, well, now the off-road driving begins. We're out here in a group on trail at the Off-Rodeo School. So before I talk about the off-roading, let's talk about the school a little bit more. So there are 5 Bronco Off-Rodeo locations around the United States: Las Vegas, Tennessee, Moab, Utah, New Hampshire, and Texas. So depending on where you're at in the country, you can get to one of those. And for the Canadians, yes, you guys are invited too. If you buy any Bronco, including the Bronco Sport, you have 1 year to get yourself to one of these off-rodeo schools, and you get a complimentary day off-road. And best of all, you get to do it in their Bronco. So you don't have to bring your own Bronco and risk breaking it. You can come out here and break someone else's Bronco, which is awesome. So yeah, you have to come out here within the year, and the day starts, literally you're going back to school. They take it right from the basics: engine, transmission, transfer case, how four-wheel drive works, how open differentials work versus lockers. And then what I like is they actually have a little practical course that the entire group sort of stands around and watches one Bronco navigate, because then you can see these things in practice. So you can see when the sway bar disconnect works. You can see when we're using trail control, how that works. And that's important, because you can sit in a classroom all day, but if you don't see exactly what that vehicle is doing, it can sometimes be hard to sort of, just take those lessons and visualize how they're actually going to work. So now we are here on trail, and I guess the first thing I'll say is this is legit. This is not super weak off-roading. It's not just a dirt road. I think that's always the fear with something like this, is that you're going to get out here and the actual off-roading is going to be a little bit boring or not exciting. I wouldn't say that at all. You can see this trail. We're running over big boulders, big loose rocks, very slow speeds, very controlled, but that's all right. I would call this absolutely legitimate off-roading. And the other thing it is out here is absolutely beautiful. It's a gorgeous area. And I think that's important because, once again, that's a key tenet of off-roading. We love to come off-road because we want to get to beautiful places on this planet. So you're really getting that true experience of not only testing your vehicle, testing its capabilities and your capabilities as a driver, but then when you stop and look around, you go, oh my goodness, I'm in such a beautiful landscape. And that's key to delivering that off-road experience to someone who might have never had that before. Now, the other thing that they mentioned to me is the other group they'll get out here are Ford dealers and Ford salespeople. And I also think that's super smart. Get your salespeople out here. Let them learn about the Bronco from seasoned off-roaders, so then when someone walks in the dealership and has questions, they can provide real answers based on experience. I think that right there is almost worth having the school alone. And then the other thing that they do is offer this to the public if you just want to pay. If you're not a Bronco owner, again, a smart idea, because this might seal the deal. This might alone be enough to get someone to say, I'm going to get myself a Bronco because of what I learned at Off-Rodeo School and what I saw this thing do. So, as a sales tool, the school makes total sense as well. So I love it for the owners, and I almost like it more for prospective owners to come get a really good feel for what a Bronco can do. And what can the Bronco do? Well, if you've seen it on our channel, we've tested many a Bronco. This is a great off-road package. Everything you want from an off-roader is here. And you know what? When this thing launched, I think everybody looked at it and thought the same thing. Finally, a legitimate Jeep Wrangler competitor. And when I say legitimate, I think the one thing that sets the Wrangler apart, of course, is that the roof comes off. Well, Ford showed up with a vehicle that you could take the roof off, because of course the Toyota 4Runner and even the FJ Cruiser have always existed sort of in that Wrangler space, but you couldn't take the roof off. So Ford said, no, we want to take this fight directly to the Wrangler. Let's do it. And the best part of that story is that these two keep pushing each other. So the Bronco launched, and then Wrangler said, oh my gosh, we need 35-inch tires and we need rear side curtain airbags. So some of those features that Jeep was lagging on, Ford essentially forced them to go out and put them on the Wrangler because they have to remain competitive. So competition breeds the best possible vehicles, and that's another reason why I love the Bronco, because it came out and pushed Jeep to give off-roaders more. So yeah, this is a great battle between Bronco Bronco and Wrangler, and I hope it goes on for many years to come, because essentially the consumers, the end users, are really the winners in this scenario. All right, continuing on here. So yeah, we're coming through these offset whoops right now in 4 high. These are designed to test my lockers. Let's see if the Bronco needs it.
Good, you're dropping into those deep sockets way down in those ruts. Good job.
I'm trying to go real slow to see if I'll need the locker. Let's see, maybe right here. Oh, it's spinning now. Okay.
So you got a spin
Oh.
in front, you got it through. Did you use the locker?
No. Traction control.
Good steady pace, good control.
And so, yeah, right there, they want to show off the locker. But it's also the truth. Again, if you watch a lot of our videos of most modern off-road vehicles, traction control systems have gotten so good. And the whole thing with an open differential, as they taught us again today, if you apply pressure to the wheel that's spinning, so the wheel that's up in the air in that scenario, that will help to send the power to the other wheel. And modern vehicles can break an individual wheel. So this Bronco knew, hey, that tire's not getting traction. That one is spinning. Let's break the spinning wheel, send the power over. And right there we had great grip. So if you're in a really good grip situation, you don't need a lot of power to get over to that other wheel to get you through. So we didn't even need the locker. So once again, just another example of how modern day vehicles and off-roaders, yeah, the technology really does make a difference. It's nice to have the hardware, but the tech is helpful too. And now, folks, time for a little high-speed off-roading. They have a very short little bottle course set up for us here. And I am here in the wild track, so this is the one we want. And suspension feels pretty good. Power feels solid. Oh, you definitely find the limits of it pretty quickly. It's not a Raptor, but it's not bad. And wild track, you know, you do feel a bit of a difference from the Badlands, and that's where you're going to feel it. You pick up those speeds, the suspension feels half decent. I wasn't bouncing all over the place. And then, yeah, the EcoBoost power, you know, you do feel the turbocharged nature of the engine. It's like when I came around the corner there onto the straightaway, my foot goes down, and then you kind of wait a beat to really feel the power pickup. That's always what you're going to get out of a turbo. But for the most part, that was just ridiculously fun. I wish they'd let us do a little more high speed. I think high speed off-roading is probably some of the trickiest off-roading to learn if you're really new to this. Because, yeah, the second you pick up your speeds, things get more intense. Needless to say, they're coming at you quicker. So it does take a little bit more comfortability with it, a little bit more skill. So I don't blame them for keeping this course really short. But it's still nice to have because, you know, not all off-roading is created equal. This is a whole other kind of style of off-roading, and it's nice to give people a little bit of a taste of that too. Earlier, I talked about how beautiful it is here, and the scenery just kept getting better all day. We actually climbed up to around 7,000 feet to the peak of one of these mountains here, and yeah, the lookout that was up there was absolutely incredible. And that's all part of off-roading too, folks. So bringing that aspect into this experience definitely helps to sell people, I think, on the idea of getting in your vehicle and going on an off-road adventure. Well, folks, we are getting to the end of our day of off-roading, but it's been really good off-roading again. Even for someone experienced, you're not going to come out here and be bored by these trails. They're pretty legitimate off-road trails. So I appreciate that about the Off-Rodeo School. And then just, you know, one more word on the Bronco. I do want to point one thing out specifically. That is the lockers here. So we have front and rear lockers. We've needed them once or twice today. And what I love about these lockers is how instantaneously they come on. You just simply hit that rear locker and boom, there it is. It's activated. None of that old school, you know, stop, roll, put it in park, try to move the vehicle. None of that stuff at all. And that just feels, you know, thoroughly modern in a vehicle like this. Same with the front locker. Hit that button, it lights up, and you're locked up. And then same thing with the disengagement. Disengage, and boom, they're disengaged. So I definitely appreciate that about this Bronco, having those lightning quick lockers. Well, folks, our day at the Off-Rodeo School is done. And I have to tell you that I think this is invaluable, especially if you're a new off-roader, a brand new Bronco owner, even a dealer, someone who's never really done this, been immersed in this off-road world. There is so much to know, especially with the amount of features on these vehicles these days. It's not just a simple old four-wheel drive system, it's also all the technology. So you have to understand so much. And coming to a school like this gives you a true appreciation for what your vehicle can do and a thorough understanding of how the vehicle does it. So if you own a Bronco, get yourself to one of the off-rodeo schools right now. Even if you're experienced, you can always learn something new. I don't think you'll be disappointed. So yeah, folks, that's it for this one. Now, please drop in the comments. Let me know what you think of the Bronco and everything you saw today at Off-Rodeo School. As always, while you're down there, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, hit join to become a member of our channel, and then come right back here to Truck King to see what we're testing next.